And the next tool here is 3D view from the create tab. As you can see, we got three types of 3D views. Default 3D view, which opens the default orthographic 3D view, as you can see, or the perspective 3D views actually. And in camera, we can create a 3D view from the perspective of a camera placed in the view. As you can see, we can customize the place of the camera to have the orthographic or perspective view. And the walkthrough creates an animated 3D walkthrough of a model that enables us to navigate in the scene and have an animation, walking and navigating in the scene. I mean, we'll have an animation that only camera moves, not the elements. But in the 3D views, we can use it for check the visualization of the additions when adding elements. We can use 3D view for model, for creating, or whatever we want, and also for presentation and visualizing the elements, which is very powerful. But note that it is complex and difficult to finish and move our projects in the 3D views, because we usually work on the projects and the 2D views, but we usually revise as our projects in the 3D views and we present them, since we got too many visual errors in the 2D views. Watch this. As you can see, we cannot easily control the modeling process, but we can use it for additions, modifications, for visualizations, showing what has been modeled in the 3D view. If I click on the 3D view, then we can open it and 3D view will be added to the project browser. Watch this, which is inside the parentheses. This is the 3D, by default 3D view. If I want to rename it and remove the parentheses, and if I click on it, then we'll have another 3D view, okay? So the new one is the default one. And if we open one of these plan views and want to open the 3D view, then we refer it to the added default view, which is inside the parentheses. We can double click on it or click on the 3D view in the create tab. Then after opening the perspective 3D view, here we got the view cube, the box as you can see, which enables us to change the views to top, front, north, west, south, and east. As you can see, you can set it to front view or left and right, and also to look from the model from the bottom. And if I right click on each of them, we can set them to orthographic or perspective. Then we'll have a perspective viewport out of the elements. As you can see, the close elements are shown greater than the far elements, as you can see to the camera I'm in. And also we can use the view control bar to set the visual style. As you can see, in the graphic display options, I can uncheck to hide the edges like this way. I click on OK and I uncheck this. Check out the result, apply. I enable the smooth lines. And then I right click on this. We got the orthographic view as well. As you can see, the element sizes are equal with each other, but in perspective, as you can see, the close elements to the camera are shown greater than the elements that are far from the camera. Again, right click and I choose the orthographic view. And the point here about the Revit software is that the measure tool works in the orthographic and perspective views in this version, but we only can use the dimension lines in orthographic, not perspective. Okay, So we can use measure in both, but we can use dimension lines only on orthographic. As you can see, all of them are disabled, but when I set it to orthographic, we got access to the dimension and the detail items except linear, that works only in 2D views. Anyway, we'll talk about all of them. Firstly, we're gonna talk about the views, and then we'll cover the rest of the items. We set the scale to 1 to 100. And from the perspective view, this is a helpful and practical view in all of the projects. Let me select these items or these elements, and then I put them inside the section box. Afterwards, let me adjust the boundaries to show you the pool, like this way, opening the top view by this way. Check this out. And also adjusting the boundaries or the edges of the section box. Here, as you can see, we got an orthographic view out of the model. I set it to find detail level, shaded visual style. Then I hide the edges to show them smoother than before. Then from the top view, I right click and then I click on perspective. Then we'll have a beautiful architectural view out of the model, as you can see. Then I can walk through the model, watch this, navigate in the building to show every single details and components, the employers, clients, or whoever you want, or whomever you want actually. As you can see, if I enable the shadows, as you can see, to cast the shadows, and as you can see, you can use such a techniques in your projects while presenting your models. Duplicate view, and then I assign a name for this 3D section view for the section box. We'll talk about the section box and the 2D section views anyway. Here we got this section. I right click on this, orient to view, sections, and section A. Then this will create a new view out of section A. Watch this. We got a 3D section view, and if I set it to orthographic, then this will be the result. But if I set it to perspective, look, we got the depth, we can cast the shadows and the elements and present everything in a very realistic way. So the perspective and orthographic views are practical and useful items that we'll talk about more in the continuation.